Just beaming in here from downtown Buffalo, outside today. It's nice. I finally finished painting. So yeah, just out here on the second floor deck, looking down the street. So late afternoon, early evening. The days are getting shorter. Oh, that's how we roll right here in Buffalo. Well, I guess in the Eastern time zone, that's how we're all rolling. Anyway, it's not just me. Yeah, I just finished painting this room. That was a good time. This was like a dark green, awful. It took 4 coats, and I was using some premium paint, Benjamin Rankins. I don't know if you've heard of it. He's related to a guy named Benjamin Moore over here in U.S. and Canada. They like Benjamin Moore paint, but it's got a loose tie to Benjamin Rankins. Anyway, I didn't listen to any Australian music today while I was painting. I listened to some Julio and some stuff like that that Ben also likes. So anyway, yeah, I'm in the hallway. Looking down here, so yeah, you can see these rails are really nice on the staircase. They've been done. The painter's been working downstairs and also doing some restoration on this beautiful staircase. These rails or railings, whatever you are. That's a railing right there. Right down. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna go up. We're not going down. We're moving up. Moving on up like the Jeffersons. Yeah. Great show. You know the Jeffersons, man. You know, like the 70s. You know what? You know what I'm talking about. I'm going up these stairs, moving on up, right? Oh, yeah. So anyway, it's kind of chaotic up here because the electrician's been here. So he's been swapping out all the outlets, and he's going to change these ceiling fans. I thought they were livable, but they're just not. The one, when you turn it on, it's like we're having an earthquake. It starts to shake. It's probably a safety hazard. So I don't need to add safety hazards to my life, according to Patty. She says I live on the edge too much still. Too old for that shit. Living on the edge. But that makes life fun, right? Living on the edge a bit. So anyway, yeah, I'm kind of adjusting my high-end tripod. I have to get the Trevor tripod out that he gave me over at Flat Round and Spun, but I don't know where it is. It's in this chaos somewhere. I'll just move this around. A lot of adjustments here, a lot of tech. I need a tech. You know what I need? I need this. Well, it's kind of a high-end celebration because I'm at the finish line with painting. So tomorrow I'm going to go in our back area in the backyard, start working on that. It'll be just nice outside. It's a beautiful fall weekend. Weather forecast is awesome. Buffalo Bills game is Sunday at 1 o'clock. It's going to be 80 degrees. It's insanity. So yeah, I was texting Dave Atkinson over there at Music and More, and he's watching some football game, but that's the soccer. You know, they're kicking it around. So his team's playing on Sunday. I forget who that is, but anyway, Dave can chime in the comments. So anyway, go Bills. Have a champagne. Celebrate. They're going to win. All right. Anyway, Friday, cheers to you. So anyway, yeah, this shirt, great. This is part of my, summer 2024 collection, maybe, from Steve over at A is for Alice, B is for Bob, C is for Colton. Because Colton's not here. It's kind of sad. I miss him. But he'll be moving in soon. Yeah, so I got this box from Steve, right? MGK. It came directly to me. The mailman knows me already. He says, "Oh, MGK, got something for you from Chicagoland." I said, "Well, give it to me." So he did. See, I've got these scissors now, so it's not as dramatic like the unboxing. Yeah, so anyway, I don't know what's in here. I know it's not a record because it's flexible, so I think it's probably some more fashion from Steve. I think he should also donate some more logo stuff to Brian over Embryonic Fashion Icon because he always needs more logos. He's designing, as you saw, the men's casual line for the fall-winter party scene that I showed a couple weeks ago. That was a great fashion show. It was great. Thanks for hosting us, Brian. It was great being up there in Toronto. Right on. Anyway, so this is from Steve. I'm opening it. There we go. Let's see what's out of here. Mike, I'm not wild about the color contrast on the t-shirt. Thought the apparel would be lighter in color, but I figured I would send this anyway to tide you over till the newer version is printed. So Steve is always working on fashion. So Brian, take note. You may have to revise your fashion line. Color is important, color contrast. And yeah, so anyway, hope you enjoy Simande, Cymande more than me, although I do think Dove is killer. So I was painting up here, this room, and I was streaming some music, and this really funky, psyche, band from mid-70s called Cymande, C-Y-M-A-N-D-E, as I said, was playing. So I texted Steve, I sent him a screenshot. I said, check this out. And he went out and bought a CD. And I take it he didn't like it. So, okay, yeah, there it is. Yeah, he only liked that one jam, Dove. And that's a killer track on this. That's the one that I had heard. And yeah, and it's clocking in at 10:53. There's the band. Huge band. Really wild. I don't know much about this. Steve said there was a documentary he looked up about them. Right there. So yeah, I think they're American, but I'm not positive on this. But anyway, there's a bunch of liner notes in here. Very hard to read, small print. But anyway, it's Cymande. Check out that track, Dove. Really cool cover art on this. Never seen that in the vinyl community before. It's wild, it's psych, and it's from Steve, right? Over it is for Alice. Yeah, and he was cleaning out a whole bunch of old back issues of magazines, and he had this with Joe Bonamassa on the cover. I said, yeah, I'll take that. Classic Rock magazine. I like this ad on the back, too. This is pretty cool. Hot chickie right there. She's saying, all hell breaks loose in stores May 27th. Watch out. I'll be looking forward to May 27th. And when one neck guitars aren't enough, you have to have two. That's what Joe Bonamassa says. Originally from Utica, New York, just down the New York Thruway, not too far from here. So I thank you for that, Steve. Here's the shirt with the odd color contrast. That Steve doesn't really like the color contrast, as he said. Oh, it's great. TNA, you can use your imagination to what that stands for. Trevor and Anthony, a record store for record whores, right? There are a couple of record whores, those guys, Trevor and Anthony. That's hilarious. TNA, we love it. You know what I'm talking about? Trevor and Anthony, of course, right? Yeah. All right, so thank you for that, Steve. Right? Steve keeps sending shirts. I'm going to have a separate closet just for Steve shirts. Cheers, my man. So anyway, another CD week playlist. Promise you in about 4 weeks, we'll be spinning some vinyl up here again. We'll get back to it, but in the meantime, this has been really great because I've been revisiting a lot of stuff that I haven't listened to. Some of this stuff in 25 years, 30 years. But anyway, I've listened to this a bunch of times. And anyway, this was just here. It's from the disc one from this is a triple record set. I also have the vinyl. Neil Young Decade. This includes all his stuff with all his other collaborations as well as solo stuff. Really great. Down to the Wire, Mr. Soul, Broken Arrow, Expecting to Fly. That's a Buffalo Springfield track. That's a really good one. Look it up. There's Neil looking contemplative on the back. So yeah, Neil Young. So then I got into some soundtracks. So not musical scores like soundtracks. I mentioned David Atkinson earlier. He's a big fan of all the scores, right, of the film. These are soundtracks, compilations of just different artists that the songs pop up in the movie, right? They have defined a soundtrack for you, right? Like you needed that. So Sliver is the name of this movie from 1992. I saw this, I remember in the theater. Sharon Stone, I mean, she at the time, she was just amazing. Well, she still looks great for her age, like I do. It's the same, but anyway, it's Sliver. And it was this weird movie. One of the Baldwins, I forget which one here, Steve Baldwin it might be, or Adam, I don't know. There was those four brothers, right? Here's this dude right here. So he's got this weird, this is when closed circuit cameras were sort of starting out, I guess, in the 90s. And he's in this high-end Manhattan condominium, apartment building, whatever you want to call it. And Sharon Stone moves in. And Tom Berenger is also a neighbor. So it's kind of funny. I remember at the time seeing Tom Berenger, right? Because he was in Platoon and he played a real prick. That platoon leader, he was a real bastard. And anyway, in this, he's also a sort of a scumbag, but he starts dating Sharon Stone, and so does the Baldwin guy. It's weird. They're both scumbags, but she seems to be digging it. And I can't remember the rest of the plot. It's just kind of sexy Sharon Stone, and there's a bunch of sexy music in the background, like Enigma. I don't know if you remember them. Carly's song, Massive Attack, Unfinished Symphony, Lords of Acid. They were kind of a what do you call it? Acid jazz, maybe. I don't know. That DJ shit. The Most Wonderful Girl, the name of that. Shaggy, Oh Carolina. That was a fun club song at the time. And Verve pops up here, oddly enough. Star Sail, that's one of their earliest tracks. So anyway, not a great movie, but Sharon Stone, great looking. So, I mean, hey, you could waste 90 minutes on something else, right? Or that movie, right? Whitesnake, I felt like rocking out. We got into this from 1987. Crying in the Rain, Still of the Night, right? It is, and it was from the CD library of yours truly. Great one. Oddly, I've got a bunch of Whitesnake CDs, none on vinyl. This one too, Slip of the Tongue. I think this one came out, let's see on this one. God, this print's small. 1989. Yeah. Kitten's Got Claws. Dedicated that one to Colton. Right? Gary over at Physical Format Jazz. Speaking of cats, he has 2 cats. Cool cats, but he had to put them down in his basement, rec room, shut the door because he was house-sitting a dog for one of his sons. The cats didn't like it, and Gary said they were ripping his arm off, like with the claws. So the kitten's got claws. Watch out. I think Colton's, it's funny, I go back over to the apartment, and he's pissed off, right? He's like, where are you, man? So, Colton, I'm coming, buddy. Another soundtrack, Suburbia. This one from, 1983, 1984. This was a movie directed by Penelope Spheris, American film director, I believe from Los Angeles, and that's where this film is set. It's basically about a bunch of homeless kids, punk rockers, and they're living in what they said. There's a line in the movie, they built these suburbs in the 1950s. Little did they know they'd be the slums of the future. That's this guy talking. Actually, he shows up. He has a speaking role in the movie Platoon that I just mentioned. He's like digging a latrine, and I can't remember what his line is, but I'm like, that's the guy from Suburbia. So anyway, and Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers, he's in it right here. There he is, wearing the top hat, just like Trevor at Flat Round and Spun with the headgear. So anyway, there's 4 live tracks on this. And when we lived out in Huntington Beach, California, much years later after this came out, True Sounds of Liberty, this band, were still very active in Orange County. And the song on this they had 2, Wash Away and Darker My Love. It's a really good movie. It's kind of depressing. It's a drama, not a documentary. Yeah, so look it up, Suburbia. It's kind of a cult classic, and there's a bunch of instrumentals by this guy, Alex Gibson. Really cool kind of modern surf guitar. No vocals, just instrumental. So Alex Gibson. Track, if you wanted to look up, Picking Up Joe. That's a pretty cool one right there. And Alex Gibson, this guy, I don't know much about him. But yeah, there on the inside, you can see some of the bands. There's Alex Gibson. So yeah, Suburbia, cool flick. Penelope Spheris also directed Decline of Western Civilization Part 1 and Part 2. And I think, I always get this mixed up. Part 1, I think, might have been the punk rock one. Part 2 was the heavy metal one. I don't know if I'm wrong. Correct me. But regardless, look at Decline of Western Civilization. Those are documentaries, Part 1 and Part 2. You will not be disappointed. All right. Matthew McConaughey right here, right? Dazed and Confused. Great flick. Takes me back, even though this came out 10 years before this came out. It was set in the summer of 1976. My era was more the summer of 1986, but I identified with this movie. Really great. Just a fun flick. Richard Linklater was an independent filmmaker at the time. He made this. A lot of the people in this movie were all unknown, like I said, including Matthew McConaughey, Parker Posey. She thought she was super hot at the time. And a cool, funny chick, too. There on the ad. So it's a bunch of classic rock on here. You know, you got Rick Derringer, you got Black Oak, Arkansas, Nazareth, Lowrider by War. I mean, it's pretty standard, but great flick. Look it up. It's Dazed and Confused, right? We've all been there, right? Yeah, maybe at a Dead concert, right? In Albany, live at the Nick, dozing at the Nick. But you wouldn't be dozing, you'd be up dancing. Most hated band in the vinyl community, I should say, because I know at the party when David Atkinson was interviewing people, he did this Grateful Dead bit. Pretty hilarious. Most people hate them, it would seem. But when you come next summer, I promise I'm only going to play a couple of songs up here in the man cave, so I won't make you guys start dozing, all right? Dozing in Buffalo. But anyway, it's Grateful Dead. It's a triple CD set. Pretty cool. Backstory on this at this Knickerbocker Arena in Albany, New York, the state capital. I bought this. I went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland in the year 2000, I remember, and they had a huge music store, of course, on the main floor at the Hall of Fame. All CDs, no vinyl at the time, so of course that's what I was buying. My physical format was of choice was CDs, and I bought this triple set. So really cool, Dozing at the Nick. Here's a double right here. It's The Clash, Sandinista. It's 3 records on 2 compact discs, rather. So I also have this on vinyl, triple record set. There's a bit of reggae in here. There's a bit of punk. There's a bit of everything, something for everybody here. It's a little bloated at points because it's a triple record studio album, but still, the Magnificent Seven still holds up. Hitsville, UK with Ellen Foley. You might know her from hanging out with Meatloaf. What else on here? Something About England. And then there's some dub stuff on here, like One More Dub. And Somebody Got Murdered. That's a great track. So The Clash, Sandinista, 1980, I want to say the release on that one. So yeah, brilliant. Love it. Takes me back to my youth. Speaking of youth, L7, Bricks Are Heavy. These are a bunch of crazy chicks from LA. This is a killer party album. It is amazing. Oh my God. Wargasm, Scrap, Pretend We're Dead was the big hit. Diet Pill, funny as hell. So yeah, that's L7. There's the girls right there. And girl you want to take home to mom. And what do we got on the inside here? Oliver Stone directed a movie. I'm trying to think of what it was. There was a scene. I can't even think. I don't even know why I brought up that example because I was ill prepared. Can't even think of the movie. But anyway, there's a scene in the movie with that L7 tune, Shit List, and it's hilarious. God, that bugs me. Brain fart. Anyway, L7, there they are. So anyway, a little photo slideshow to round things off here. I've mentioned this guy several times. My old friend Renee. We were childhood friends at Brockville, and his father, with his job, they had to move out to British Columbia, and we were about 10 or 11, and we kept in touch. And I went out there. I was a year or two later. I was 11 or 12, and then we built this go-kart. I was out there for a couple of weeks, and his parents were living in Burnaby, and like out in British Columbia, there's a lot of hills, so they lived at the top of this giant hill, and we had this double thing. One of you though would be sliding down the hill sideways. So you'd be like, whoa, and the other guy was driving, so you're at their mercy. I can't remember how that went, but yeah, anyway, funny stuff there. There we are. Years later, I was out visiting him, visiting Renee, and at this point, I was in my early 20s. This is probably about 1992, something like that, for a visit. And another flash forward, probably about 1997, and there we are at his parents' house. I think that was at Port Coquitlam. I can't remember. But anyway, there we are. Some cool 90s shirts we're wearing there. Yeah, there we are hanging out. Awesome. And flash forward, early 2000s. This would have been 2003. And I was going wild. I lived at the time in a place called Kitchener-Waterloo. Kitchener had a huge German population, like biggest concentration of German immigrants in Canada. And they had a big thing there, Oktoberfest, right? Just like in Munich. Went for 2 weeks solid every October. And there's so many German immigrants there. There were at least a dozen private clubs that would have all the events. So this was the guy that was the controller at my work. Well, if you don't know what that means, that's like the head accountant. He was the controller for this place called the Transylvania Club. And he's like, yeah, I'll get you a discount on a bunch of tickets. So all my friends came down. We went to have my bachelor party. This is about a week or two before I got married to Cheesecake Patty Cheesecake. And there I am with a bunch of strange women, right, celebrating my future wedding. And in a stroke of irony, this woman here, my best man, met his future wife right here, who was on my direct left. So that's great. Shout out to Mike and Kristen. They're together all these years now. They're in their 20th year. So thanks to my bachelor party, bringing people together for 20 years. MGK Boston, still doing it, right? So anyway, I was at the Transylvania Club, got really hammered. That was all weekend. I forget where we went night one, but that was night two. That was on the Saturday night. Speaking of those times, this was the summer right before we got married. Would have been the summer of 03. And I worked with these two guys. This guy, Bill, can't remember his last name, and this guy, Calvin. Can't remember his name either. And this bar we used to go to in Waterloo. Kitchener-Waterloo is like a twin city. And this place was called the Hoother Hotel. And on the second floor, they had this huge deck. And this was summer, although Patty looks like she's wearing a jacket. Might have been a cool day, but yeah, we used to go there on Saturday afternoons. They'd have this live jam with a bunch of different musicians showing up. And there we are with Calvin and Bill having a good time. And there's Calvin and Patty right there. So I'm taking all the photos, I guess, here, right, for this slideshow. Anyway, so there you go. That's a shout out to my man, Steve. Oh yeah, one more thing. Steve over Days for Alice. Random thing. I was opening a few boxes, and this was like when one of the boxes of CDs that I had opened, this drumstick that I caught, fourth row at the Cult, and Black Rebel Motorcycle Club opened the show back in 2023. That was at this place called Leader Bank Pavilion in Boston. So yeah, that was great night out. I remember I just saw that drumstick coming and boom, grabbed it, and the rest is history. The brand Vic Firth, right? Rhythm section coming into effect. Anyway, it's going to do it for another Friday. Cheers to you. out there in YouTube land, wherever you are. God, yeah, great weather. Loving it. Anyway, wherever you are, I hope it's great weather too. Hope you're having a good one, and I'll see you next time.